How's it going, people? I'm going to be doing a tier list of all the post-Fergie signings. There's been some good signings and a lot of bad signings, and I'm going to be ranking every single one from D to S tier, and let's see what we get. So let's just start off as we go. So Bastian Schweinsteiger, to me, he's got to be in the D. I think we signed him way too late. I can't remember how old he was, surely about 31, 32. He was past his peak. I don't know why we signed him. It was kind of a thing that the club gave Schweinsteiger to Van Gaal because he worked with him before. It wasn't even Van Gaal's one of his #1 targets, to be fair, and we ended up with Schweinsteiger and it just didn't work. Zlatan Ibrahimovic, I mean, you could potentially put him in S tier because his first season under Mourinho he was pretty good, but you can tell that he was 35 because he did well at the start. I think mid-season he did miss a lot of chances, if you remember. I would probably put him in A tier, but potentially S. Second season, he obviously he got injured. Well, he got injured at the end of this first season and didn't really play a lot because Lukaku come in, and in the end he ended up going to LA Galaxy like in March or something like that. Cristiano Ronaldo, obviously we're going to judge it as post-Fergie signing, not his time during Alex Ferguson's era. I know he did well in his first season. He got nominated for PFA Player of the Year, Team of the Year and everything, but the only problem is bringing Ronaldo in changed the way we play. We used to play in quick transitions. It kind of didn't work with Ronaldo in it. We had to completely change our style of play. So I could put him in A tier because he did score a lot of goals, but obviously, again, it's a signing that we should not have made and it didn't work out. I would probably put him between A and B. Let's just say A for now. I could change that to B. Daley Blind, I would say C. Again, one of Van Gaal's signing. He just wasn't made for the Premier League, in my opinion. Casemiro, I mean, he started well in his first season, had a horrific second season. Third season, he kind of got his way back in the team, especially towards the end of the season. But I would probably put him in B. Sergio Romeo, probably the best backup keeper we've had post-Fergie. I would probably put him in A tier because every time he played, especially in the Europa League in 2017, he was unreal, to be fair. I even said at the time we had probably the best backup keeper in the world. Tom Heaton, obviously hasn't really played, to be fair, but again he's just there to make the numbers for the registration rules, isn't he? So I'm gonna go. I think I'm going to go with C because he makes the numbers up for the registration rules, because you need like 8 homegrown players, don't you, in your 25-man squad for the Premier League. Radamel Falcao obviously was one of the best strikers in Europe before his ACL injury. Once he had that injury, we signed him on a loan deal, and you can just tell that that injury affected him massively because he was just nowhere near the player he once was, so I'm going to put that in D. Fellaini's an interesting one because he was the first signing in the post-Fergie era, but that season we were chasing Fabregas, Toni Kroos, and the last day of the transfer window, on deadline day, we ended up signing Fellaini. He's had some good times, but it's not what Man United should be signing, really. They should be going for the Toni Krooses, the Fabregas, players like that. I'm going to put him in C because he has come out with some clutch moments, to be fair. Sanchez, well, an absolute disaster in it. There's no need to explain that. Johnny Evans, I do like Johnny Evans. Obviously, it was a weird signing at the time. He shows good leadership, but it's not really a signing Man United should be making. But every time he's played, he's done all right, to be fair. So I'm going to put him in C. Juan Mata, unreal player, to be fair. I think we misused this guy. To accommodate another number 10, sometimes we put him out on the right, and that's just not his position. He lacks the pace. But he's better as a number 10. He's such an intelligent footballer. The only problem is during his later years, his legs have gone basically. I am going to put him in A tier because Guamat was one of my basically favourite players when he was at Man United because he was just so good. Angel Di Maria, it's got to be D, and I mean I think his first 5 games he was really good, and after that, the next like 30 games he was dog shit. He just didn't adapt to English football. It's just sometimes like the culture of England just wasn't for him. His family wasn't happy in Manchester, which deflected on his performances on the pitch. So I think Angel Di Maria, the money we spent on him, and then him leaving the next season, it just hasn't been worthwhile. So I'll put him in D. Cavani, again, another short-term signing. We signed him at 35. Every time he's played, he's done really well. So I would probably put him in B, only because he did well in his first season, but then with Ronaldo coming in, he rarely played, to be fair. He was always reliable. His movement was unreal. Like, one of the best I've ever seen, to be fair. Matteo Darmian, again, I'll probably put him in D. He's obviously done alright at Inter Milan and stuff, but I think just the Premier League just wasn't for him. He didn't do great when he played for us. I mean, he started again, one of the signings started off well, and then just faded away. Didn't really get any game time under Mourinho. Morgan Sneijderlin, another Van Gaal signing. It just didn't work out since day one. Literally didn't, and I'm sure he pretty much went within a year or two. Obviously done well at Southampton. We bring in a defensive midfielder with Premier League experience, but it just didn't work. Henrik Mkhitaryan, but again, he was one of those players that was unreal in the Europa League, but when it comes to the Premier League, it's like the league just wasn't for him, and he ended up leaving a year and a half later with that Sanchez deal. I'll definitely rate him above Sanchez in that perspective, so I would probably put him in C tier. Agala, it was a last-minute loan deal in 2020. To be fair, he done all right, especially in that Europa League run. He scored quite a few important goals. Never scored in the Premier League for United, though. I'll put him in C tier. I mean, at the end of the day, didn't really. It was a loan deal, wasn't it? So it's not massive. Ericsson, I did like him when we first signed it, but it seems like ever since that Andy Carroll tackle, he was just not the same player. And then second season, his legs are gone. I'm going to put him in C tier because I know it was a free transfer, but again, it's just not. I think Man United should be going for better. I know Ericsson was pretty good, to be fair. Matic, I would probably put him in B. Because I did actually like him, to be fair. It's a very similar situation with Casemiro. We buy him at a late age. He's got experience, does well in his first season, a proper defensive midfielder. I did like him, to be fair, but again, it's one of those things I wish we signed a player like him, and same with Casemiro, younger. Simple as that, really. Rojo, I would probably put him in C tier. He was actually okay, to be fair, but again, he just wasn't good enough in the end, really. Lukaku, I actually liked him. I am going to put him in B, though, because I know he had a good first season. Second season, he was overweight, didn't really fit Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's style of play, ended up leaving for the same amount we bought him for, and never replaced him, to be fair. Now we're left with Højlund. When I get onto him, fucking hell, he's going to be, quite low down on this list. Sabitzer was another loan deal in 2022. He done alright, to be fair, but again, he didn't really only play for like 6 months, but he was decent. He scored a few important goals, like that one against Fulham. Don't know. I might have been his only goal. I can't remember, to be fair. Herrera, I like this player. A player who actually wanted to play for Man United and actually would run for United. I'll put him in A tier. He did have his limitations, but he gave us all. You can't fault that. I absolutely liked him. I was surprised when we let him go for free, to be fair. We could have done with maybe 1 or 2 more years of him, but, it is what it is. Pogba, again, we spent big money on him, never built the team around him, and we leave him for free in like 5 years. Lacked consistency. I would probably put him in B. It's between C or B, because I know he had that one good season where he was in the PFA Team of the Year, won a 2019, I think it was. And then obviously towards the end of his United career, he had injury problems, and again, it's a signing that had potential, but we just never built a team around him. That's what we should have done. We never did. If you spend that much money on the player, you need to build a team around him. It's as simple as that. I'll probably put him in... I think for the money we spent, it's C. But obviously, I do like Pogba. He has some good times. But again, just lack consistency. Jack Butland, did he even ever play? He might have played 1 or 2 games for Man United. I mean, what can you say? It's a C tier. Memphis Depay, obviously, we paid a lot of money for him. We signed him at 21. Was meant to be the next big thing. And he was basically shit. But to me, I think that was all on him. I'm not saying he didn't train hard enough. It's one of those things where he kind of thought he made it when he didn't. So I'm going to put him in D because it just didn't work out for him. Varane, Varane was a quality signing, to be fair. But the only problem is, if he didn't have injuries, I'll put him in A tier. But as he had injuries, I'll probably put him in B or maybe C. It's difficult. It's difficult because every time he's played, he's always been good. Especially that partnership between Varane and Martinez in 2023. It's difficult. B, C. I'm gonna put him in B. Fuck it, I'll put him in B. Harry Maguire, obviously we paid 80 million for him. He's done alright under Amaran, but obviously, like, his first 2 years at Man United, he was kind of like a meme, really, wasn't he? I'm going to put him in C because we've paid a lot of money for him and you just expect better. But obviously, recently, he's been coming in clutch for us with some goals and shit. So, you know, I'll put him in C, cause, you know, for now. And then Martial, I liked Martial, but obviously, the latest years I didn't like him because he was always injured. And again, it's another player that had so much potential, didn't quite reach that potential, but he did have some good moments for us. I could put him in B, but again, I'm going to put him in C. I mean, Luke Shaw was a smart signing at the time. Maybe now, like nowadays, he's just like, his contract should be terminated, and I'm not even joking. He's always injured, and when he's played recently, he's been absolutely dog shit, well off the pace, doesn't even look fit or anything like that, but just remember in like 2021, he was like one of the best left backs in Europe. So I am going to put him in B, but that's judging it from literally 2021 before 2021, 2022. Because after that, he just became, an injury prone on that. Weghorst, I would probably put him in D. I know he was one of those signings where he was there just to hold the ball up, really, and that was about it. He scored like a few goals, but again, it's a loan deal, which just wasn't good enough in the first place. Andre Onana is definitely D. I think he's the worst goalkeeper in the history of Man United, as simple as that. Lindelof's one of those players that I feel like every time he's played, he's always professional, always gives his all, despite, not really playing a lot in his last few years at Man United. But I will still put him in C tier. He always professional, but just never had the ability, really. Fred, I'm gonna put him in C as well because we paid a lot of money for him, but he just never was worth 50 million in the first place. Bruno Fernandes is the first person for the S tier. The best signing post Fergie, single-handedly saved Man United from relegation this year, you can say. Most chances created every single season, bar one, when Trent Alexander-Arnold created more in like 2021 or something like that. Literally the most reliable player we've got, and now he's staying. He's not going to Saudi, which is good. But obviously, United need to buy another midfielder next to him if he's playing in that 8 role. But again, Bruno Fernandes, 5 years, never injured, just always, even when he's like not in great form, he always does something. Such a good player. Definitely the best player we've had since Fergie. Alex Telles, I mean, he was highly rated at Porto, But again, if you look at his goals, most of his goals are from set pieces. And I think it's one of those things that Man United signed him because he had a high rating on FIFA, and I'm not even joking. Serge Reguilon just wasn't good. Again, he's one of those left backs that's good going forward, but he's crap defensively. He honestly is. Amrabat, it's kind of a weird one because obviously we were following him most of the summer in 2023. Ended up being a loan deal with an obligation to buy. United didn't buy him in the end, but I feel like his last 5 games for Man United, he was one of our most important players, and probably because of him we won the FA Cup. So I won't put him in B tier, but I definitely won't put him in D tier, so I'll put him in C. Donny van de Beek, we paid 40 million for him, 150 grand a week. Never played. I don't see why. I don't know why we signed him in the first place. It made no sense at the time. But the problem is, he likes to play the number 10 position. You're competing against Bruno Fernandes, who's never injured. And if you rest Bruno Fernandes, we lose. So, and that was going back to 2021. And then after that, no manager seemed to rate him except Erik ten Hag. And when he did play, he wasn't great. And now he's back in Spain, and we literally sold him for about 500k. It's crazy. Like, the downfall of Donny van de Beek is a sad story. Was so good at Ajax, nominated for the Ballon d'Or, and then just crumbled. It generally did. Feel sorry for him, to be fair. Eric Bailly, obviously, his first 2 years at Man United, he was really good, and then obviously he had injury problems and was just never fit. I could put him in D tier because, yeah, I probably am going to put him in D tier. He was decent, to be fair. He was decent, but obviously he was just never fit, and then obviously never got his place back in the team, and ended up leaving for free. De Ligt, I think he's actually a player that I really like. I know this might sound debatable. I could put him in A tier because every time he's played, he's been our best defender. And I'm not even joking. Obviously, he just needs to stay fit, really. But I think I'll put him in B tier for now, only because he's only been here 1 year. So if he kept these performances up in the next few years, then I could move him up 1. But I think it's been a good signing from United. I really do. Daniel James, I'm going to put him in B tier. I actually liked him. I think he's better than Garnacho, and I'm not even joking. Okay, he's not the type of winger like Garnacho where you can just cut in and shoot like an inside forward or whatever, but I think he was more of a winger where he always made the right decision. He knew when to pass, and I just remember that 1920 season where him and Rashford had a good connection. He used to put balls into Rashford really well. But again, he's one of those players where he was only good in transition, but when you play against a low block, it just wasn't for him. So I could put him in C tier, but obviously it's debatable because I generally rated him. I generally did. Change my mind. I'll put him in C tier. Maybe he just doesn't have the quality as the same players as B tier. Bayenda, he had 1 good game against Arsenal, and then after that, ever since he's played, he's been dog shit. He generally has. I know he's been cocky, saying he should be playing. If I don't play, I would leave. And when he does play, and when Onana has a bad game, he gets a chance and he blows it. You know what I mean? So I'm going to put him in D tier. Diego Dalot, obviously, he's been there for 6 years now, which is mad. He was good under Ten Hag, but under Amaran, he's been a bit on and off. I'm going to put him in B. I know that might be debatable, but I'm going to go B. Tyrell Malacia, I mean, he played for 1 year, didn't play much, and then was injured for a year, and when he come back under Amaran, he was the shit. Not really his fault, to be fair. It's like ever since he had that knee injury, he just wasn't the same pretty much. So I'm gonna put him in D tier, unfortunately. Mason Mount, I mean, that's fucking. There's just no fucking nothing to say really. And we paid 55 million for him. 1 year left in his contract. Literally gave Chelsea 100% profit because he was homegrown. Always injured, never fit. I mean, so far, it's been a D. It's been a D. It generally has. Unless in the next few years he can stay fit. But I think the reason why we won't sell him is because he generally is a good fit for Amorim's system. I think we've seen under Thomas Tuchel when he plays on that inside right, or that right 10 is what you call it. He was unreal. That's the best football he's played in his career in that position. And I feel like if we can get him in that Man United system, in that system, very similar to what Ruben Amorim plays, we could see Mason Mount thrive. But that's if he can stay fit. That's the if. Mazraoui, I do like him. I think he's going to be a B. An A. Definitely an A. I think he's been our best signing this summer. I prefer him right centre-back, personally, in this system, because to me, he hasn't really got the pace to be a wing-back. He's more of a possession-based full-back. So I think if he plays that right centre-back, he can still get forward in possession anyway. Because I think we're going to have Delo and Ahmad on that right-hand side, or that wing-back anyway next season. So I feel like he should be playing right centre-back, and he has been good. He's played most games, hence why he got injured in the last game of the season against Villa. But I think he's been Mr. Consistent. Always 7 out of 10 most weeks. I like him. Jadon Sancho, aka Freedom Fighter. It's got to be D in it. We paid so much money for him. We chased him for 2 years. He was unreal at Dortmund. Joined United, 73 million, 300 grand a week, and he just basically just said fuck you to United. Basically, was booted out the squad twice for disciplinary. Went on loan to Dortmund to try and regain his form. Didn't really do it then. Then went to Chelsea, and then did that freedom post, and it's just been an absolute mess. And United will somehow have to try and get rid of him because his wage demands are ridiculous. No club is going to pay that. So I feel like we're going to be stuck with Jadon Sancho. I really do. I just feel like no one's going to pay that. So yeah, it's got to be D. It's just been shocking from United and from him, to be fair as well. Joshua Zirkzee, I mean, I know he struggled at the start of his United career. Obviously scored that goal against Fulham, first game of the season, and obviously getting subbed off against Newcastle didn't help. I still think there's a player in there, but I'm going to put him in C tier for now. But I do think maybe in the future, hopefully, he can go up one. I don't think he's a striker personally. I do think he plays in one of those 10s because his link-up plays pretty good. He makes the right passes. One-touch passing is really good. I do like him, but I feel like he can improve. So I won't put him in D. I'll put him in C. Agate, again, he's a player. Has only been here a year, but every time he's played, I like him. I think he's been alright. I'm gonna put him in B. A lot of people might disagree with that because on the ball he's not the greatest. That's why he needs a midfielder next to him that's good on the ball, like Fernandes, for example, who can dictate the game, and Agate can just basically sweep things up, break up play. I do think he can be an important player for Man United. I really do, but you know, haters will hate, I guess. Martinez, obviously his first season he was unreal. Again, he's one of those players that struggled at first under this Amorim system because obviously when you play against like a 3-5, 3-4-2-1 or whatever, a lot of teams play like a mid block, so it's kind of difficult to play those line breaking passes. I would put him in B because obviously he's had a lot of injury problems, and before he got his ACL injury he was actually quite good, but he has been a good signing so far. Maybe not quite A, but he could potentially be A, to be fair. Debatable. You know what? I'm going to put him in A. Change my mind. Wan-Bissaka, again, he's one of those players that every time he's played, especially like when it comes to one-on-one defending, he's literally the best there is in the game. But again, he had to be shipped out because he didn't fit Ten Hag's possession-based football, especially for a fullback. I'm going to put him in B because obviously in big games, I remember against Man City, PSG, he come in clutch with some performances. To be fair, Ahmad has got to be A in it. I could maybe in a few years he could be S. Generally could be S, or I could even put him S. To be fair, again, it's a very smart signing from Man United. Obviously, it's someone they've scouted for ages, paid a lot of money for him. 2020 for someone who only played 3 league games at the time. I mean, but obviously his last 2 years he's been really good, and this has been his breakthrough season. So I'll say A for now, but he's got potential to be S. He generally does. He's, unbelievable player. Matthias Cunha, I know he hasn't played for United, but I'm going to judge his time at Wolves. I'm going to put him A. Obviously, he hasn't played for Man United yet, but obviously, to me, I think it's an A-class signing, basically. Anthony, I mean, fucking hell, 85 million for a fucking fidget spinner, terrible. Rasmus Højlund's the worst striker in Premier League history, in my opinion. That might be a bit harsh, but if not the worst striker in Premier League history, the worst Man United striker in the Premier League era, got to be. I know he's just shit. I mean, he did alright in his first season, but again, his second season, he kind of doesn't fit Amarin's system, to be totally honest with you, but he's still got to do so much more. Can't hold the ball up, makes the wrong runs, misses chances. I mean, his best start is he's played 30 games and he got 30 appearances, and that's not the only positive thing we can say about Rasmus Højlund, to be fair. Palestri was a signing we done in like 2020, 2021. We didn't pay a lot for him, but he rarely ever played. That's the thing. So I'm going to put him in D because for some reason we bought him and just never played him. I don't know why. Lenny Euro, I think this is an unreal signing. I think this is one of the smartest signings Man United have made in recent years. I know they paid a lot of money for him, but again, it's a smart signing because he's a player that can fit any system, whatever the manager is. He can be here for the next 10 years if stays injury free. I think there's a player in there, and I generally believe he can potentially go into S tier. I'm a big fan of Lenny Euro, I really am. It was good business from United, especially when Real Madrid wanted him as well. You just got to remember that Real Madrid scouts approved him. Just shows how good he is. Patrick Dorgu, for now, again, he's one of those players who's young. He's been a bit inconsistent, but obviously when he's played well, he's had some really good games. But again, you kind of get that with young players in it. So I feel like C for now, but he's got potential to go up to B. He generally does. And last but not least, Aiden Heaven. We paid 1 million for him, and he just looks like a class player. 18 years of age. Every time he's played, he's been really good. I think for his age, I'm going to put him for C for now, or maybe potentially B. But again, he hasn't played a lot of games. I think for now we'll go C, but again, give it 2 years, he will definitely go up to like B or potentially A. The ceiling's high for him, it really is. And that is it. That is my tier list. Do you guys agree with it? Let me know. I know there's a lot of controversial picks, but this is just my opinion. And yeah, that's it, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and peace out.